Okay, so you know that there are so many copilots nowadays, and in terms of licenses, for me, I find it a little bit complicated. There are different types of licenses, but you can start by creating a free environment where you can start playing with Copilot, try it, see if it's something for your organization or not. If you're happy with that, you can move to production and license your Copilots. But Copilot is the rebranding of what has been previously known as Power Virtual Agent, which allows you to create really nice, powerful chatbots with no code, literally zero line of code. So you point to certain knowledge sources, or you create your logic. If the question is such, answer this, do that. You can connect to Power Automate. You can connect to different data sources. You can do a lot with the PVAs without having to write any code. Now, with the rebranding of PVA as a Copilot, there are additional features. It's not just renaming the product. There are new things that you can take advantage of, and the powerful knowledge behind Copilot. So let's go and create quickly a new Copilot or a new chatbot. I will call this one Ask HR. You have different sources of knowledge that you can provide your Copilot with. So you can either point it to a website and it will crawl all that website, index it, and get knowledge about that website. It can be your company website or your personal blog if you want, any source of information you trust and you want to provide to your users. So you can use that as what we call generative AI. It can also be pointed to a company policies, some I don't know, knowledge documentation where you have something, let's say SharePoint document library or something like that. But for now, we're not going to look into that. I will create it with a basic wizard. There is also the option of uploading documents to Copilot, so you can upload the document instead of pointing to location of the document, and the Copilot will kind of scan that document, understand it, and answer based on the knowledge there. It can be something like a policy or frequently asked questions that you have, so you can upload it to Copilot. And then the third thing while this is loading is when using SharePoint. So you can point it to your existing SharePoint. You know that with uploading, it's going to be harder for you to maintain those documents. So you can point to, let's say, the HR policies and procedures that, to be honest with you, nobody read. You can point to that document library, and Copilot is going to index it, understand, and answer the user question based on the knowledge in these documents. Right, so the first time you create your Copilot, this is the interface. It looks pretty similar to what we had in Power Virtual Agents. So there are a couple of things you need to understand here. Is that when you create the Copilot, it comes with some basic, I would say, topics or and plugins. So topics are things like hi, goodbye. So these are the basic ones. You have some sample topics as well. Lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3. These are yeah, just for demo purpose. You can deactivate them or delete them if you want. So we don't want these. We'll go ahead and create our own topics. So a topic is kind of you can group the answers or yeah, topic. What's topic? It's topic. It's a category of or group of I would say question answers or actions that you want to put in place. I've seen in certain places where they create one big topic, the name of the company and everything is inside, or you can have specific topics. So, for example, for the HR, we can have different topics, things like annual leave or maternity leave or, I don't know, sick pay or these kind of things. So it's easier for you to manage, and you wouldn't have to worry about how do I go from one topic to the other. So Copilot is smart enough to do what's called dynamic branching. So let's say you ask Copilot about maternity leave, and while you're doing that, you say, oh, by the way, how many days left do I have? And you have another topic which is responsible of answering anything related to annual leave, and probably that topic can connect to the HR system, pull the data, and answer the user. So a topic usually is triggered by trigger phrases. So that's what makes the Copilot kind of point to that topic and start answering what's inside. But you don't have to go always through sequential order. So you can, in the middle of a discussion about specific topic, you get another idea. As we do as a human, we keep jumping from idea to the other. You ask on something else, and it takes you, even if it's like kind of deep inside another topic, it takes you, Copilot will
Sorry, Samiri, I think you are on mute.
Oh, sorry guys. All this time I was on mute?
Now we can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, all right, okay. Did you hear anything before, or was I on mute since the beginning of the session?
No, it just a few seconds. Okay, thank you.
I didn't press anything, maybe. Yeah, okay, thank you. No problem. So, as I said, the Copilot topics have triggers, and these are the phrases or variations of phrases which indicate to Copilot that's where I want to point the user. So let's say for annual leave, I will have annual leave as a phrase, something like holiday. Any variation you think would be used to point Copilot here. I don't know, sick leave, maybe just leave. Yeah, that would be enough. So let's say the Copilot starts here. From here, you can have different actions. You see that the Copilot Studio looks a little bit more like Power Automate, where you have actions, you can have parallel branches, you have trigger, and you have a set of actions. You need to think about the user experience and try to make it as human as possible. So in certain scenario where let's say the user has typed something related to annual leave in this case, I don't want to say, hi, I am the Copilot or the chatbot, blah, blah, blah. And then next there will be another question, say, what do you want exactly? So, in terms of sending a message and asking a question, you can combine them. If you don't want to send a message, just include your message in the question. So for me, I would think send a message would be a good idea. Say, okay, I'm here to help you about your annual leave, and then another action would be ask question. I would try to combine both together just to make it look more interactive and more, I would say, human interaction with the Copilot instead of very robotic and action by action. So ask question and say, sure, I would love to help you with your request. All right, just something like this. You can use some predefined variables in the Copilot. So let's make this more customized. So if you look, you have variables here. I want to put hi and then the first name of the user. So you have some system variables, and these are things like the channel ID, name, activity text, and so on. We are interested in user dot. So these are a couple of properties about the user object. We want just the first name. Right. So let's say I want to ask the user a couple of things, because here the triggers contain different things. So what do you want to do? And let's give the user some options here. Say, how many days left do I have? Okay. It is my absence of the absence policy. Just a couple of things. I can type that correctly. I want to submit a new request. Yeah. Right. By default, whatever the user is going to select from these three options is going to be set to a variable, and it will be called var1, which is variable. Annual leave. Let's say action. Yeah. That's better. So the three options give me three branches. Each branch can have its own processes. Let's say, how many days left do I have? Suppose we have your HR system, the third-party system that is hosted somewhere, and you have an API or a way to go get that information. You would probably go and call an action, which will be from flow. So these are the flows I have in my environment. You can create a new flow if you want, and that flow will be responsible of connecting, authenticating against your HR system and bringing that information, which will be X number of days. Okay. Let's say we got that information. I'm not going to get into the detail because it will vary from environment to the other, but let's say I want to send that in an adaptive card. Say, okay, this is the number of days left you have. So you can use send message. And in send a message, you have the option of either send a text or speech, which is okay. by default, well, you can have rich text here, so you can format the content if you want, but you can also include other things like image or video or message conversation, basic card, or an adaptive card. Okay, so in my case, I have prepared the adaptive card. Basically, it will show something where we only display the number of days left. For the sake of this demo, it will be, sorry, I think I need to share the entire screen so you can see that, guys. Yeah. So I have prepared this adaptive card where all it does, it shows the number of days left. So you will be responsible of getting that information from your HR system, but that's the only kind of variable bit you will have to include in your adaptive card. All right. So once I get the JSON content of my adaptive card, I will use it here, and basically it will be something like this. As per today, you have 16 days left. Okay. Now let's ask another question. Say, do you need anything else? Or probably I can leave it at the end here. I will leave it later. So the other branch is I want to get where can I get the absence policy? Okay, here the user is asking for a policy or link to documentation. So we can say, please visit our lovely HR SharePoint portal to get the policy, whatever. You can type whatever you want here. Okay, let's say I want to add a link. Okay, there you go. And the third branch is I want to submit a new request. Okay, so here you can start capturing the information of the users. You have two options. It depends. Let's say how your HR system is. You can say, okay, what's your absence start date and date, the absence type, any description, any notes. So you get all these details inside the Copilot session, and then you use an HR API or an endpoint to create a leave request on behalf of the user. Or you can say, click here, take you to the HR system, and you trust the user to complete the absence request. So it's up to you. But we can capture information in different variables, and we can use those variables when we make a call to a Power Automate. So here, if we say, okay, when do you want me to start, something like that, okay, please help me with the start date of your leave, okay. And this can either be a multi-select, or it can be a date. It can be one of the entities that Copilot will be able to understand. Okay, so we want the start date here in this case. Okay, so this would be leave start date. Okay, next I can say and for how many days you have. Yeah, again, same thing. In this case, I will get number of days, and we can do the calculation if you want. But you get the idea. Always good to rename your variables. Right. And lastly, ask question. Please provide some details about this video. Okay, so here we ask the user to type some description or any details if you want. And that would be user entire response, which is the equivalent of type a response. All right, let's call this leave details. Perfect. Now we have captured 3 pieces of information. We also know who the user is. We'll touch on the security later, because it depends how you're going to publish or which channels you'll be using to expose your Copilot. Either you can ask the user to authenticate, or have the user interact with the Copilot without authentication. So in this scenario, because we are dealing with some organization data and systems and connecting to HR systems and things like that, it would be a good idea to switch to authenticated users only. Right. Again, because it changed from organization to the other, let's say we don't want to deal with how we send that, or probably we can send an email to the line manager, say the user wants to take leave from this date for 3-4 days for the following reason, and we include that. We have time to do that. I guess we can. Okay, let's see how we do it with time. After this, there will be an action which sits between capturing the information and saying, hold on, your request has been sent to your manager for approval. All right. So there will be something which sits between capturing the information and confirming that it has been done. As I said, you can either create the request on behalf of the user, or you can point the user to a link where you have your HR system or self-service application where they can do the request. Now, regardless of which branch the user took when they answered the first answer, at the end we can say, okay, is there anything else I can help you with? Maybe repoint the user to the top, or do something else. So here we can say, ask a question, and anything else I can assist you with today. And here says we have two options: no thanks, or yes please. And basically the no thanks will take, oh, I need another option here. No. So this one will say, what is end of chat? Topic management. We can say end current topic, or end the entire conversation. Remember, we are in the topic of annual leave. We can just take the user back to where they were, or we can end the conversation entirely. Let's go with end the conversation. And if they say yes, please, there is something else they want, we can go back to the topic management and say either go to another topic, which can be a generic topic you want to always kind of welcome the users in, where they start using the chatbot, or maybe I can take them to the generic one, which is greeting. Say, hi, my name is this, the name of Copilot, how can I assist you? So let's go back here. Right, so if we have created our first topic, we can test the topic if you want. While we are doing that, please remember to save, because I had instances where it was not auto-saving. So we can test the topic while we are customizing it or debugging it on the right side. So I can say, how many days left do I have? Oh, sorry, I did not use the actual phrase. So you leave. There you go. These are the three different options. So let's say, how many days left do I have? You get your adaptive card, and then anything else I can assist you with today, I say no thanks. And that's it, end of the chat. Right. So this first topic looks all right. Let's say I want to create another topic, just to show you how the Copilot can branch from topic to another. And here, let's say, I don't know, annual leave, change of, I don't know, something else. I can't think. All right, maternity leave, why not? So again, same as the first topic, you have to select the trigger phrases. It can be maternity, pregnancy, whatever, leave, paternity. So different words which tell the Copilot that that's where you want to go. And here we can say something like, oh, congratulations, you are expecting. Congratulations. Yeah, I would love to help to assist you today. Right, so someone is asking about maternity leave. All right, and that's a mistake I've made, where I send the message and then ask the question. It's just not really a mistake. It's just preference that me personally, I don't like to get like multiple messages, like the friends who send you one word in messages. I don't like that. Right, so the question, same thing, ask question, how do I submit my maternity leave? What is the maternity leave pay policy? Something like that. A couple of questions. And again, you can rename the variables. You should actually. Here, what is the maternity leave? How do I submit my maternity leave? We can say there is no portal for that. Please liaise with your line manager. Okay, unfortunately, we are still using Excel spreadsheet and email. What's my maternity leave pay? So this will be, let's say, a link. Please check the following. Please check the HR policy. Oh, this one. Let's say we want to take this link. And yeah, I'm not going into too much details for this. Just want to show you how Copilot can branch from a topic to the other. So let's reset this Copilot and say maternity leave, right? So it will point to this topic. It was a little bit confused between maternity leave and annual leave. So it asked, did you mean maternity leave? So yeah, congratulations. I would like to assist you today. And then we have the two branches. Probably I should have added something. From here, let's say, oh, by the way, how many days or, yeah, let's say I want to know my annual leave or how many days left do I have. So as you can see, you can jump from one topic to the other. Probably the example doesn't show that properly because I have very small topics. But what I want to highlight here is that the user can interact with the Copilot in a natural way, not in a robotic way. Right. So let's say we have created our Copilot. It's very simple. The idea is that try to keep the topics to very specific. I would say one topic for each subject or each yeah, topics like this. So we have one for maternity leave, one for annual leave. Try not to put everything in one big topic. You can, but you understand that it's going to be hard for you to look after the topic and manage it and understand. And it also helps in the analytics when you want to know the number of sessions, how many users have used your Copilot, the responses which were answered properly, and so on. So it can kind of help you understand the things that the user are asking the most about, and so on, instead of having one big topic which answers everything about HR. Right. Just wanted to touch on, I think we are good on time. So if we look at the AI integration, or sorry, the generative AI, so this is the place where, in addition to creating your logic, something specific to your company, where you point to HR systems or answer from specific documentation or policy you have, you can use generative AI. We touched on this earlier. So you can either point to a public website or SharePoint source. It can be document library or SharePoint site, or you can upload documents here. So basically, you take a copy of the documents, you upload them here, and Copilot will understand the content and use them as a reference to answer the user's question. We need to understand the security behind all this. It's obvious that if you upload a document to Copilot, it is considered as a public document. So whoever has access to the Copilot, they can benefit from the information inside those documents. Same for the public websites. It's a public website. It's available to everybody. So Copilot is just helping the user, minimizing the search they would have done online. So it is public. It's available to everyone. Now, when it comes to SharePoint, there is a question here. Let's say the SharePoint site we are using is not available to everyone. It's not open to everyone. It's a finance SharePoint site with some policies and procedure, how to submit expense claim and things like that. So obviously, let's say there is some security in place in this SharePoint site. So how does Copilot handle this? And how does it connect to the SharePoint site and get all that data if there are some document libraries and some files with unique permissions? You need to understand that the Copilot is not going to index your SharePoint site and try to understand everything inside. It will use the SharePoint search index, which is already available there. And if you have used SharePoint in the past, SharePoint search specifically, you know that you have two types of indexes. You have the content index and you have the security index. So the content index is basically all the content in your SharePoint site with the keywords and metadata and everything like that. So everything is in one big table, and that's the content in your website. The security index tells SharePoint search, or in this case Copilot, who is supposed to see this content. So without going through trying to access a document and things like that. So Copilot will look at the SharePoint index, content index, and it's going to trim that based on the security index. So if you're asking about something that Copilot knows about, but you are not supposed or you don't have permission to access it in SharePoint, Copilot will not answer that for you. So it kind of applies the same level of permissions. I just wanted to touch on this one. It's quite important. Now, you can publish your Copilot to different channels. First thing I will have to do when I finish, let's say, it's working on this version 1 of the Copilot. And it's also a good idea to start with a couple of topics, get feedback from the users, and then build on additional topics, probably on things that Copilot could not answer. So try not to build a big Copilot which does everything, and then probably delay the release of the Copilot for months. So start small and then add additional bits. Now let's have a look at the different channels that you can use. As you can see, don't know where Skype is still there, but you can publish to different platforms. Out of the box, you have Microsoft Copilot and Microsoft Teams. You have a demo website, a custom website. This is, let's say, your company website, different platforms that you can use. It depends on the security, settings of your Copilot. This, by default, it is meant to be used internally only. This is why it's only available on Copilot and Microsoft Teams. But if you want to make this Copilot publicly available, you can change the settings from company detail, Copilot details. Let me go back here, security, sorry. And you can change the authentication method here. Be careful with that, especially if you are exposing some sensitive data and company data. So you have to think about that. Right, let me try to publish this, if it works this time, to my Teams channel. It also depends on your Teams policy, what is available or what has been made available to the users in terms of publishing custom applications and things like that. You can edit the details of the Teams app manifest. So probably we can change the icon. I'm not sure if it's still doing the same thing or not in terms of the icon size, because when I was, let's say I want to use this icon here. Okay, perfect. Ask HR, you can give it a description if you want. I don't know if you've done some Teams development, but at the time when I was using Teams Studio, it was always asking for an image in 192 per 192 pixels, and it wouldn't take anything apart from that, as if it couldn't resize the image or something like that. Anyway, I'm going outside the topic a little bit. Okay, let's open the bot directly in Teams, if it allows me to do that. This is just to test the bot, right? You can customize it later, create a package that you can give to your IT guys and ask them to publish it as a Teams application. It can also be pinned to the left, right, and made available to all the users. But let's say, hi, I want to know about my annual leave, right? How many days left I have? You get the same experience, but just in a different platform, a different platform. No thanks. All right, it disappears. Basically, you get something exactly similar to what you saw when you were testing the Copilot, just made available, as I said, on different channel. Right. The other thing I wanted to show you here, this is meant to be kind of a self-service Copilot that we are making available to the users to minimize the requests and maybe the calls and emails that HR department will receive. You can also enable the same functionality in the Teams in Power Apps application. So basically, this is an HR self-service application I'm putting in place. You can have things like, for the users, they can see how many days left they have. They can see their leave request, annual leave, unpaid leave, sick leave, and so on. Their status, the status of each one of them. Profile, they can change basic things like, I don't know, change of address or personal mobile phone or next of kin and things like that. They can review their absences, submit a new one. Tools will be used for things like set my out of the office message or a couple of things like that. But you can also embed the same CoPilot in Power Apps. So how did I do that? Basically, you can come here and you can use chatbot, which is in preview. It has been in preview for quite some time. Here I have, we're not getting into how this Power Apps is, but basically we have a horizontal container, which contains first this card here, which is logged in user, their job title, and then you have another container where I want my chatbot to live. So I will add the chatbot component. It will ask me, I don't know why I can't see it in this environment. I think it should have been in the same solution as this one. Let me pick another chatbot just to show you the concept. So this is Fixit 365. It's an IT help desk chatbot which can answer things about how do I create Teams channel and these kind of things. The only thing about this component which is not great as per today is that you can style it. It's kind of very basic in terms of look and feel, but it does the job. Here we're not talking about design and things like that. It's more productivity. So let me make sure that this component takes the entire space available to it inside that container. Right. So as I said, this Fixit 365 is a IT help desk chatbot, but basically I can say, how do I create Teams channel, for example? Right. I don't know if you can see that, it's quite small, but yeah, it gives you some answers. Open Microsoft Teams, navigate to desired team, click the 3 dots, blah, 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 do this and that. So the idea is that this application can be given to the users on their mobile devices. They can check their annual leave, they can submit new requests, they can speak to the HR bot. So everything is in one place. And the same if they go to the desktop, when probably most of the users would be using Microsoft Teams, they can open Teams, they have that chatbot over there. It helps them to interact. And all this is to first improve productivity. And when I say improve productivity, I mean less context switching and reaching the users where they are, instead of asking them, oh, you need to go to that site and remember to bookmark this link and do that. So put everything in one place and reach your users where they spend most of their time. And trust me, probably since COVID, most of the users are spending a big part of their working day in Teams or around Microsoft Teams. So it's good to use it as kind of your main publishing channel, but also in things like self-service applications like this.